Welcome back. In this mini lecture, we will cover different phases in services. Currently, there is a rapid growth of government services available on the internet. Lane and Lee, two e-governance researchers, refer to the experiences of e-government as chaotic and unmanageable, and in this sense claim the importance of dividing the development into distinguishable stages. Stage models are used for guiding and evaluating the progress. It can also be used to categorize and evaluate the progress and guide the agencies in what possible services they could provide to the public. Persson and Goldkuhl have identified that there are unclear definitions and that the stages in these models are not always as distinct from each other as they need to be in their guiding and evaluating role. So there should be a solid conceptual foundation to these models. Shortcomings of these models need to be brought out and changes need to be suggested to separate services of certain types from each other. There are a number of different stage models available actually. If you look at the table, you will see that these are illustrated by different levels, starting with publishing information, having limited interaction, having the option for already individual and secured interaction, and ending with sharing and contributing into a holistic approach to e-services and e-governance. Overall, I would like to bring out 4 or 5 main levels of service phases. Firstly, publishing information, where information is static, readable, and interaction between the user and e-services limited to an inquiry and search functionality. Secondly, the interaction stage, where there is limited interaction in government databases available to the users. This includes expanded research and filtering possibilities, but also calculating services, subsidies, and debts, for example. Thirdly, the transaction level, where secure identification is already needed to have individual interaction with the government agency. There is a need for a higher level of secure channels between the user and the agency. Then, fourthly, we have the integration level that includes the integration of government services, can often be single portal and one-stop shop. And lastly, we could also talk about e-governance or participation stage, where we could include the possibilities of voting online, having the access to proactive services, and overall having a more immediate and customized experience when using e-services. But next, we can talk about convenience services, which are procedures, services, or products that are intended to increase the accessibility, save resources such as time, effort, and energy, and decrease frustration. Convenience is a relative concept and depends highly on the context. Service conveniences are those that save customers or citizens time or effort and include variables such as availability and extended use time. Service convenience is not researched thoroughly in some areas, but at the same time, it is very widely handled in other areas, such as customer service, for example. E-services and e-government on a whole can be handled as convenience services. But we can even look at free Wi-Fi as one of the examples. We can also talk about new public management, which is a broad concept of government policies implemented since the 1980s. It was aimed to modernizing and rendering more efficient public sector. It suggests that market-oriented management of the public sector will lead to greater cost efficiency for governments. It introduces 3 M's: markets, managers, and measurement. New public management is oriented towards outcomes and efficiency through better management of public budget. We can also talk about new economy, which is the result of the transition from manufacturing-based economy to a service-based economy. It was particularly popular during the dot-com bubble in the late 1990s in the US. The internet and the accompanying acceleration of technical change in computers and telecommunications facilitated the change. It can be argued that new economy was a result of 5 positive shocks: new economy is potentially part of the Kondratieff Wave, an economic period of about 50 years that consists of alternating intervals between high sectoral growth and intervals of relatively slow growth. That is to be ended somewhere in the 2040. Currently, we can claim that we are in a start of the sixth wave of maybe prosperity. The future megatrends are globalization and demographics, but the waves are also shaped by biotech, nanotech, envirotech, and possibly even a holistic approach to health. These illustrations give you a brief look at how the Kondratieff waves have developed through the last couple of 100 years. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for the next mini lecture.